also, we want to get you to something that is a big developing story out of our nation's capital. The headlines in this new week plaguing the Biden campaign are not new. The campaign had hoped that going into a new week meant that maybe they could get a refresh and a restart. But right now, so many people questioning Joe Biden's ability to beat Donald Trump, and many, especially people in high places, are suggesting it's time for Joe Biden to step aside. So we're watching inside the White House right now, where Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre is about to answer reporter questions. As soon as she steps to that podium, we'll get that to you. But meanwhile, we want to talk to you about a defiant letter from Joe Biden to congressional Democrats today. They are saying that he should get out of the race, and Joe Biden is saying he's staying in the race. Biden's fight also went to national television to start this week. We wanted to give you a little sample of that. Listen to this.
The bottom line here is that we're not going anywhere. I am not going anywhere. I wouldn't be running if I didn't absolutely believe that I am the best candidate to beat Donald Trump in 2024. We had a Democratic nominating process where the voters spoke clearly. I won 14 million of those votes, et cetera. So I not only believe that from the beginning, but I wanted to reassert it and demonstrate that it's true. And I'm going to be doing that all through this week and from here on.
All right, so joining me live now to sort of go through this, CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes. Nancy, this is the most fiery pushback that I've seen from Joe Biden in recent days. Do you think this will give some fire in his back off sort of message to Democrats?
That's what the White House and the Biden campaign are hoping, Reed. They are essentially flooding the zone today. In addition to that fiery letter that he sent to House Democrats this morning, he also had that fiery phone call with Morning Joe, where he asserted that if anybody doesn't like the fact that he's the nominee, they should challenge him at the convention. And now he's calling in at this hour to a victory fund phone call with donors being held by the leaders of the Biden campaign. He's taking questions from those donors who have a lot of concerns, as you know, about his ability to really take this fight to President Trump for the remaining months of the race. And so what the White House is essentially trying to do here is they are aware that this week is pivotal. They are aware that House and Senate Democrats are coming back to Washington after the July 4th recess. They're all talking with each other, maybe sharing their concerns, getting each other ginned up. And the fear was that you'd start to see this trickle of House Democrats calling on the president to step aside, that it would turn into a flood. And so they are trying to head that off by essentially saying to House Democrats who are on the fence, don't bother, the president is not going anywhere, and then essentially daring those House Democrats to follow through with it, knowing that if they do, not only could they potentially be branded as disloyal to the president, but it may not even make any difference because he and he alone has the power to decide whether he stays in this race or not, and he's making it very clear, at least for right now, that he is staying put.
President Joe Biden in recent days has also asserted that he and he alone can keep NATO tied together. We also understand he has a chance to showcase his strength this week addressing members of NATO. What can you tell us about that?
Right. You know, when presidents are embattled, they often turn to the world stage. Conveniently for this president, he is hosting the NATO summit here in Washington, D.C. this week. Starting tomorrow, you'll have 32 world leaders coming here to Washington, D.C. to discuss issues of importance to NATO. This is a rotating hosting duty. Just so happens that the U.S. is hosting the NATO summit this year. So he will be interacting with those world leaders. You'll see images of him talking with them. Obviously, Ukraine is going to be a big item on the agenda. Ukraine's president, Volodymyr Zelensky, is expected to come here as well. And then that meeting is going to be capped on Thursday afternoon by a big presidential press conference. The first time we've had one of those here on U.S. soil, you know, that there's not just one or two questions, but a full-blown press conference in something like 7 months. So high stakes as House Democrats watch for clues about whether this president has the energy, the stamina, the wherewithal to continue this race in the face of some of their questions about the way that he performed on stage in that debate a week and a half ago.
a week and a half later, and we are still talking about it. Nancy, thank you so much for that update. I think this is going to be a big week for the Biden camp.